There's 60 million, just 166,000.
I just think that clean and green is getting damn close to being real socialistic. I just don't agree with it.
Well, not really. The businesses have KOZs and LERTAs and those type of things to give them tax breaks to get started.
Mhm.
And basically, agricultural and forest people said, wait a minute, we're making a living, we want basically something like it. So the government, to give landowners the same thing that like the Walmarts and all those could get, came up with Clean and Green. And it's really not a bad program.
Explain to me exactly what happens say my kids get all uptight and they say, Dad, sell it and give us the cash. What happens to me?
Nothing.
What kind
As
of-
long as it's still,
If you sold that property as is and you were in Clean and Green, you would not have to pay any penalty on that. If somebody else bought it from you and then they came in and decided to put a development in, they would pay the rollback, not you.
What is the rollback?
it's,
It's the difference in what you ended up paying under Clean and Green and what you would pay if you weren't in it, back up to 7 years.
7 years.
Right. Once you get past that,
That could be quite a bit of money though.
yes, it could.
Could be, but
Because it'd be the difference between the clean and green value and,
the tax.
In your case, it was 100,
so what would that be?
be taxed on what, 100 and some
We're not
thousand?
Okay,
sure.
what would be the difference between clean and green and the tax year
We're not
proposing
sure
here in
where
7
the-
years?
Tax rate's gonna end up at.
Yeah, it's the
But,
thing.
I mean, it's gonna be a sizable difference.
Just so I know. Because that comes off the selling price. You had to sell it. The man knows if he's buying it for another use, he's gonna have to pay that.
The ones that we've only done 2. The buyer knows, and they're the ones who have always paid the rollback.
Yeah,
The
but
buyer.
he's gonna come to me and say, hey, I gotta pay.
No.
What is the rollback on it?
No, the buyers, if they want to change the land use, they've been paying the rollback so far. Now, let's face it, every deal is different. But it's not when you sell it, it is the use of the land. So if you sell
What
it,
I'm talking about is if Joe Doe comes into me and says, I wanna buy your land. But he said, maybe after a while, maybe I wanna do something else with it. I'm gonna build a truck stop there. There's no way, but, so he's gonna change the use of it. Now what's he have to pay? What's 7 years times the
But
difference?
listen, okay, you're telling us that you can't develop this ground.
No,
Okay, so the next person that wants to buy it has no
They
way
should
to build
be
on it
comparable.
either. So it could technically be in your favor to be able to say to someone, if you wanted to buy, look, I'm in Clean and Green, which is gonna save you this much in taxes. The only way that you're gonna see a rollback is if you would take off little pieces or change that use, and you can't change the use of your ground, you just told us that it is what it is.
you said it's.
And it's really there for hunting, whatever, it's your enjoyment, you're not gonna develop it. The next person down the road is not
what
gonna be able to do
what are
that
some of the
either.
other uses that he could change it to?
Just
Anything.
a housing development,
Or
which
what- or-
obviously
or what?
wouldn't work, or
Yes.
change it to commercial of some kind. If it's in Clean and Green and they wanna plant apple trees and start an orchard, that doesn't change the
How about if they
use.
wanna build a garage or something like that? and
Well, a
big
garage-
truck,
A garage on the
repairs.
property, that's just, with the property, that doesn't affect it.
What other types of commercial things could they do? Like,
Well,
that
Yeah, you
wouldn't
can't really
require-
do commercial, but you just told us that.
No, wait a
you can do
minute,
commercial, right?
I'm saying if they wanted to put a big building or something and use it for an industrial purpose.
Yes, that would be a land use change. And they would,
Okay, now how much would that cost? All I'm trying to get out of is what's the difference between the clean and green and what you have me assess that now, times 7 years.
Okay, consider what you're paying now,
Okay.
times 7. Because it could roll back, if it's 7 years from now and whatever you're paying, you're gonna roll back 7 years plus interest on the difference, so you can at least get an idea of it on, you know, based on what you've been paying over the years, give you an idea of what the.
It's a little difficult because, you know, taxes can change each year. So
Just take it today's part of it.
But it's, take today's, and, you know, school taxes could change, but see, it protects you from all of it.
But they wouldn't necessarily have to, if they bought your whole 62 acres, they could take 10 of that and pull it off, and then put their industrial building on that, and it's not gonna affect the remaining 52.
I'm just,
So-
the guy that has an idea there, he wants to put a hat factory, and it don't matter, he has enough place there, maybe he can put a hat factory. And maybe it takes, you can get by the DEP on the wetland or something, stick it in there somewhere. What penalty is he gonna have to pay?
Yeah, we don't have the taxes right here in front of us. What I would suggest is going down the hall to the assessment office and talk to Robbie Rowland. He's the one that handles clean and green for us. He can give you more of the particulars and what would be involved and try to help you figure out what the penalty would be and all that.
But I mean, you're the type of person with your type of ground that Clean and Green was sort of designed for. You
I thought
really
it was
are.
designed, in Somerset County, I'm of course I'm from Berlin, but
Uh-huh.
in Somerset County, it's designed for the farmer up there, unless he has a family farm, you know.
Farmers are good candidates. Really, it's any large, and what they call large, 10 acres or more, landowners. And, you know, I think people really need to take advantage of it. It's legal, it gives you that tax break. And now's the time to do it.
What's the best you can do for me here?
Tell you to enroll in Clean and Green.
And other than that, if I don't,
Well,
We're gonna review it.
We'll have to review it.
Based on what we've seen so far, we don't really know what we can do with it. We have to
Because
keep it at
there-
market value.
there were two other parcels
well,
that
I'd
were
say,
within
you
a
know,
couple $100.
If you were
per acre.
$1,000, I think maybe we could do business with that.
3, 5, 9, 5. County tax would be about $500 a year.
Yeah,
Probably.
so I don't know what the school is up there.
Now, this is just rounded numbers. At the present assessed value of $141,400, and at the current millage rate, your tax would be about $508 a year. So that's $3,500 in 7 years. 3,500 and 7 times 8 is 56. $3,556 in 7 years. Your savings on that, I mean, the tax, if it was only at $20-some thousand, would be almost zero.
28, and if the village didn't change,
Yeah.
you know, well.
Yeah, yeah, well, that'd give them an idea of that.
This, I mean, you know, he asked for some numbers, and I'm just trying to give you rounded numbers based
Under
on.
current millage, which will be lower than that, it's gonna be
Oh.
100.
So your taxes on
Be
the others
saving
would.
county taxes, if nothing changed, in other words, millage and stuff, you would save a little over $400 a year in taxes. Have a $500 tax bill, you'd save about $400.
And if you chose to, or your sons chose to divide it up, sell it in 1 acre parcels or whatever they chose to do, you would have about a $3,500 plus fine or plus interest payback.
It's a.
Or the difference
6%.
between, a little bit different than that, but it wouldn't be much different.
Right.
So that's kind of the, if that's a guideline number you were looking for, that's about what that would be.
And you also have the same advantage on your school taxes. Because it's everybody's. That's just the county portion.
That's quite a bit more.
So you're saving, I mean,
We'll review everything, make a decision, and we'll send you our decision. If you're still not satisfied with our number, you have 20 days? What's the time period? 30 days.
30 days.
30 days to appeal it to the Commonwealth Court. And at that time, you're gonna have to have probably an appraisal and an attorney, but you can challenge our decision at the court level. But we'll review all this and double check the numbers before we make a decision.
Well, there's some, I think it's worth $1,000 an acre.
Well, we can't negotiate, I said, because
We're not gonna be
the court
buyers.
case, we don't wanna do, the county doesn't wanna spend money to
You're
do a
gonna
third
comparable.
assessment.
Comparable right there to the New Baltimore Sportsman, I just bought 200 acres. Of course, I've had this land a good while, but since I've had it, they bought 200 acres. You can see what they bought it at. That would be right beside me, you know. Now, they have some developable land down there in that bottom where the shooting ranges and one thing and another. But they have that whole hillside, and it's about like mine, it's the same contour.
Yeah. I'm familiar with where it's at, so. Actually, hunted for too many years up there in Fairhope with my buddies in that area a lot, so.
Yeah, probably know. But either here or there, I just,
Yeah, but I would, since you're here, I would go down and talk to Robbie before you leave and let him tell you, a little more about Clean and Green if you're interested.
where is it right down there?
Down the hall to the left,
Next door past the flags.
yeah, on the right-hand side of the hall.
Go in and ask for Robbie or Clean and Green.
Okay. I think you base it on access. If you don't have the right of way there, then you don't have to, whoever gets would have to get a right of way. And the 8% slope, if you go over the whole thing, you're gonna have 2 acres with 8% slope. Without, less than that.
Thank you for coming in, yeah.
Thank you.